Wheels of terror-haunted Watermills, welcome my fellow darkness dwellers to a world where shadows twist and whispers echo with the weight of unspeakable horrors. Tonight, we venture into the heart of forgotten countrysides, to the ramshackle structures that stand as silent sentinels by the water's edge. We're talking about haunted watermills, those seemingly tranquil places where the ceaseless churning of wood and stone masks a sinister history. Prepare yourself, because tonight we delve into the chilling legends of those who met their doom within their depths, their souls forever bound to the waters that flow beneath. The Mill of Shadows. Nestled deep in the woods, shrouded by a perpetual blanket of mist and the passage of time, sits the dilapidated structure known only as the Old Miller's Mill. Locals, if you can get them to speak of it at all, call it the Mill of Shadows. They say tragedy struck on a stormy night, a night much like this one, when the relentless rains caused the river to swell, its angry waters breaching the mill's foundations. The miller, his family, and all those labouring within its walls were swept away into the churning abyss, their screams swallowed by the roar of the flood. Now, they say, the mill stands as a testament to their suffering. It is a place where the veil between our world and the next wears thin, where the anguished cries of those lost can still be heard above the groan of the rusted wheel. Those brave or foolish enough to venture near the mill at night speak of strange lights emanating from within its crumbling walls, like spectral lanterns beckoning them closer. They tell of disembodied whispers carried on the wind, whispers that chill the very marrow, painting vivid pictures of the horrifying last moments of those claimed by the flood. Some even claim to have seen them, shadowy figures flitting between the trees, their forms shifting and swirling like the mist itself. They are forever bound to the mill, reenacting their final moments for all eternity. But the true horror, the detail that sends chills down the spines of even the most hardened skeptics, lies in the accounts of those who dared to spend the night within the mill's decaying walls. They describe an oppressive feeling, a coldness that seeps into your bones, and the unshakable sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. They speak of phantom footsteps echoing through the empty corridors, the creaking of floorboards as if someone or something is pacing just beyond sight. And then there are the whispers growing louder, clearer, as if the spirits themselves are drawing near, eager to share their tragic tale. But the whispers are not the only sounds that pierce the oppressive silence of the mill. Some have reported the distinct sound of splashing water, as if someone or something is struggling to stay afloat. It's a chilling reminder of the watery grave that awaits those foolish enough to tempt fate within the cursed Mill of Shadows. The stories persist, passed down through generations, each telling adding a new layer of fear and intrigue. Are they merely tales meant to keep children from wandering too close to the crumbling structure on the edge of town? Or is there something more, something darker, lurking within the shadows of the old mill? Perhaps one day someone will be brave enough or foolish enough to uncover the truth. But for now, the Mill of Shadows stands as a chilling reminder that some tragedies never truly die. They linger in the shadows, waiting for the unsuspecting to stumble upon their secrets. The Phantom Miller. Our next tale takes us to the windswept moors of northern England, where a solitary watermill stands as a testament to a tragedy born of greed and deceit. This is the story of the Phantom Miller, a tale whispered in hushed tones by those who dare to speak his name. The mill, now little more than a crumbling shell, was once the lifeblood of the surrounding villages, its massive wheel grinding grain into flour day and night. The miller, a man named Silas, was known for his tireless work ethic and the quality of his product. But Silas harbored a dark secret, a secret that would ultimately lead to his downfall. You see, Silas was a deeply envious man, his heart consumed by greed. He coveted the prosperity of his neighbours, their fertile lands, and the bounty they yielded. And so he hatched a plan, a wicked scheme to claim it all for himself. One fateful night, under the cover of darkness, Silas snuck onto his neighbour's property and, driven by his insatiable greed, set fire to their barn, watching as the flames devoured their livelihood. The fire spread quickly, engulfing the entire farmstead in a raging inferno. The screams of the family trapped within, their desperate cries for help, fell on deaf ears, lost to the roar of the flames and the howling wind. Silas, his heart filled with a perverse sense of satisfaction, watched from the shadows, believing he had committed the perfect crime. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. A witness emerged from the darkness, a traveller passing through who had seen Silas fleeing the scene. The traveller's testimony, coupled with the whispers of Silas's envy that had long circulated through the village, was enough to condemn him. Silas, despite his desperate pleas of innocence, was found guilty of arson and murder and sentenced to death by hanging. He died proclaiming his innocence, his final breath a curse upon those who had wronged him. It wasn't long after Silas's execution that the stories began. Locals passing by the mill late at night reported seeing a lone figure silhouetted against the moonlit window, his form hunched over the grinding stones as if still hard at work. The rhythmic thump of the water wheel, long silent since Silas's death, could be heard echoing through the valley, a haunting reminder of the miller's grim fate. Some dismissed the sightings as mere superstition, the product of overactive imaginations fueled by guilt and fear. But others, those who knew Silas best, recognized the telltale signs of his presence. They spoke of the phantom miller's restless spirit, forever bound to the mill, desperately trying to clear his name from beyond the grave. They say that Silas's ghost is most active on the anniversary of his death, the air thick with the scent of burnt grain and the sound of his mournful cries echoing through the night. It's said that if you listen closely, you can still hear the clang of the millstones and the mournful groan of the water wheel, a chilling reminder of the phantom miller's eternal toil. The mill stands to this day, a crumbling monument to greed, deceit, and the restless spirits of those who find no peace in death. And so the legend of the phantom miller lives on. A cautionary tale whispered on the wind, a reminder that some sins can never be washed away, not even by the relentless flow of time. Chapter 3. The Cursed Waters. Our final tale takes us deep into the Appalachian Mountains, to a secluded hollow, where a winding stream feeds into a picturesque watermill. But don't let the idyllic scenery fool you, for this is no ordinary mill. This is a place where the very water that gives life also holds the power to curse, to steal away your happiness and leave you forever marked by its touch. This is the legend of the cursed waters. The story begins with a love triangle. Two young men, childhood friends, vied for the affections of the same woman, known for her kindness and captivating smile. The first suitor, a miller's son named Caleb, was a kind and gentle soul. The second, a brooding woodsman named Jedediah, burned with a possessive desire. The young woman, torn between Caleb's gentle nature and Jedediah's intensity, tried to avoid making a choice. But fate had other plans. One moonless night, driven by jealousy, Jedediah challenged Caleb to a duel. The duel took place at midnight by the light of the full moon, on the bridge overlooking the rushing waters. Caleb tried to reason with Jedediah, but his heart was consumed by darkness. As the clock struck 12, the two men faced each other. The duel was swift and brutal. Jedediah emerged victorious, sending Caleb's lifeless body into the churning waters below. But Jedediah's victory was short-lived. As Caleb's blood mingled with the water, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night. The young woman, drawn by a premonition, arrived just in time to witness Caleb's body disappear. Overcome with grief, she cursed Jedediah and the waters that claimed her beloved. She cursed him to a life of solitude, haunted by his betrayal. And she cursed the waters, declaring that anyone who drank from the stream would suffer the same fate as Caleb. And so the legend of the cursed waters was born. Locals whispered of strange occurrences near the mill, of shadowy figures and mournful cries. They say the water shimmers with an unnatural light infused with the young woman's curse. Travelers are warned to avoid the stream, lest they fall victim to the curse. And as for Jedediah, some say he still wanders the woods, seeking redemption, but finding only the cold embrace of the curse. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of haunted Watermills. We've explored the tragic tales of the Mill of Shadows, the Phantom Miller, and the Cursed Waters, each a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. But the question remains, are these merely stories? Legends passed down through generations to keep us away from the darkness that lurks at the edges of our world? Or is there something more to these tales? Something sinister lurking beneath the surface, waiting for the moment to drag us down into the depths?